Bangkok changes completely when the sun goes down. By day, the city hums with markets, temples, and motorbikes. By night, neon lights flicker on and Sukhumvit Road transforms into one of the world's most famous nightlife districts. Western travelers arriving in 2025 find a city both familiar and shocking. What they read in forums is partly true. Nana Plaza and Soi Cowboy are alive and well, but what they experience goes far beyond the cliches. It begins in Sukhumvit, the artery of nightlife. From Asok to Nana, sidewalks crowd with food vendors, tuk-tuks, massage parlors, and glowing signs promising everything from cocktails to karaoke. Western visitors can't help but compare it to Las Vegas, except cheaper, louder, and far less predictable. The chaos feels alive, buzzing with a kind of raw energy that Western cities rarely sustain. Nana Plaza, often called the world's largest adult playground, remains the epicenter of Bangkok nightlife. 3 floors of bars and clubs wrap around an open courtyard glowing with red, blue, and green lights that spill into the night. Western tourists who wander in often stop, stunned by the spectacle. A group of Australians laugh nervously as music booms. A German solo traveler clutches a Chang beer, eyes wide. An American couple holds hands, whispering as they navigate the balconies. Inside, each bar has its own theme: neon stages, mirrored walls, or cozy booths with thumping bass. Drinks flow fast, and the energy is relentless. Prices are higher than on the street, but still far cheaper than a night out in London or New York. For Western men, the feeling is intoxicating, affordable luxury wrapped in neon chaos. For Westerners, the surprise isn't just the entertainment. It's the service, the attention, the pace. Even budget travelers feel like VIPs, with staff eager to pour drinks, recommend shows, and keep the energy alive. Every corner feels designed to hold your gaze and pull you deeper in. One Canadian traveler wrote later, "It felt like stepping into another dimension. I'd heard of Nana Plaza, but nothing prepared me for the sheer sensory overload." The walk back to Sukhumvit feels like another journey. Street vendors grill skewers of chicken, spicy papaya salad is served in plastic bags, and taxis honk as they crawl past late-night crowds. The juxtaposition of cheap street food and booming nightlife makes the experience uniquely Bangkok. For Western men, it's the thrill of living 2 lives at once: street culture and neon nightlife in the same breath. Not far away, Soi 11 adds another layer. Here, rooftop bars, cocktail lounges, and international DJs attract a different crowd: expats, young Thai professionals, and Westerners chasing a night of music and skyline views. But Nana Plaza is where the Western imagination lingers. For decades, it has been both infamous and iconic, a place people whisper about before they visit, then talk about endlessly after. Western visitors describe it with mixed emotions. Some call it shocking, others thrilling, others overwhelming. But almost all admit it's unforgettable. Bangkok nightlife in 2025 thrives on this contrast. The blend of gritty and glamorous, shocking and fun, cheap and luxurious. For Westerners, it's a city that defies categories and forces them to rewrite their expectations. If Nana Plaza is Bangkok's chaotic heartbeat, Soi Cowboy is its neon stage. The narrow strip is bathed in electric pinks, purples, and blues, as bars line both sides of the street like glowing magnets pulling in Western tourists. For men in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, the first step onto Soi Cowboy feels like stepping into a movie set. Music pumps from every doorway, neon signs buzz overhead, and the air is thick with heat, smoke, and the sound of laughter echoing from every corner. Westerners are struck by the scale. The entire street is just 150 meters long, but every inch of it pulses with life. Australians shout over beers, British expats lean against bar counters, and American tourists wander slowly, soaking in the spectacle. Everywhere you look, men in your demographic are part of the scene. Drinks flow easily here, and prices remain a fraction of what you'd pay back home. A whiskey soda in Bangkok might cost the same as a bottle of water in New York's nightlife districts. For Western men, it feels like the rules of nightlife economics have been rewritten. In Bangkok, the night stretches without the painful price tag. The energy of Soi Cowboy is different from Nana. While Nana Plaza is sprawling and overwhelming, Cowboy is intimate and concentrated. You're never more than a few steps away from the next neon-lit doorway. The glow reflects on faces, drinks in hand, laughter echoing into the humid air. A group of German backpackers called it the world's loudest alley. They weren't wrong. The soundscape is a mix of 80s rock, modern EDM, and street chatter that never dies down until the early hours. Not every Westerner comes to participate fully. Some just come to watch, camera phones in hand, capturing the glow of neon lights against Bangkok's humid night sky. For many, it's a story to bring back home, a story that shocks friends who've never been. The kind of story men retell over beers years later. Step back out onto Sukhumvit, and the city's broader nightlife unfolds. Rooftop bars rise above the noise, promising skyline views that feel almost unreal. Western men in suits, loosened ties, or polo shirts gather around glowing cocktails, looking down at the madness of the streets below. The contrast between sophistication and chaos is intoxicating. One rooftop near Asok offers panoramic views where the BTS SkyTrain snakes through skyscrapers. A Canadian traveler leaned on the railing, drink in hand, and said, "Back home, this would have cost me $100. Here, I paid a fraction and got a better view." For the 25-44 male demographic, this is the sweet spot. Affordable luxury, thrilling chaos, and endless stories waiting to be told. Bangkok Nightlife offers Western men the sense that they've stepped into another world, one that can't be replicated in Europe or North America. It feels cinematic, especially when viewed on a big TV screen. The clubs of Sukhumvit add yet another layer. International DJs spin late into the night, mixing crowds of locals, expats, and tourists. Here, Western men in their 30s dance under lasers, sweating through button-downs, surrounded by energy that feels both foreign and familiar. The beat is relentless, and so is the atmosphere. And then there's the after-hours culture. Street food stalls open late, serving bowls of noodles or skewers of grilled pork to men stumbling out of bars at 3 a.m. The neon glow fades into steam rising from pots, and laughter continues into the night. For Western visitors, it's the perfect way to end the evening. Cheap, delicious, unforgettable. For Western audiences watching from their living rooms on TV screens, the appeal is obvious. Bangkok nightlife is cinematic. Every block feels like a scene change. The packed bars of Nana, the neon tunnel of Cowboy, the sky-high clubs of Sukhumvit. It keeps the eyes glued, whether you're there or watching from afar. What keeps men coming back is the contrast. In one night, you can go from rooftop sophistication to raw street energy, from international DJs to street musicians strumming guitars under neon signs. It's also about the value. Western men know what nightlife costs in London, Sydney, or Los Angeles. Drinks are overpriced, cover charges sting, and nights end too quickly. In Bangkok, nights stretch endlessly, and the wallet doesn't scream in pain. The sense of freedom that comes with that keeps Western visitors hooked. A British man in his late 30s summed it up. In London, I'd have spent my night budgeting every round. In Bangkok, I just enjoyed myself and still paid less. That's the kind of story men in your target demo replay to friends over and over. It's not just nightlife, it's bragging rights. And yet, behind the spectacle, there's a cautionary undertone. Western travelers are reminded to keep their wits about them. The nightlife is fun, but scams, inflated bills, or missteps can ruin the magic if they're not careful. Awareness is part of the survival kit. Still, most Western men leave Bangkok nightlife with more positive stories than warnings. Stories of neon nights, rooftop sunsets, street food at 3 a.m., and the feeling of being at the center of the world's most famous party city. For your audience, men aged 25 to 44, watching on TV screens with a drink in hand, this is what resonates. Not just the chaos, not just the neon, but the idea that Bangkok offers them an adventure that feels like stepping into a movie they get to star in. And when the lights of Nana, Cowboy, and Sukhumvit finally fade, the memory remains vivid. Bangkok in 2025 is a city that never truly sleeps. And for Western men looking for unforgettable nights, it delivers everything they imagined and more.